Good afternoon, y'all. It is Sunday afternoon. Welcome to epic nearshore Panama City, and I'm Bob. And we're going to do a little fishing today, this afternoon. Probably be a fairly short trip for me, 4 or 5 hours. Right now we're sitting in St. Andrews Bay. Right here behind me is Panama City Marina and the Panama City Convention Center. So I'm right in St. Andrews, the edge of St. Andrews Bay where it meets East Bay. I spend a lot of time in East Bay. It's one of my favorite places to fish. And today we're going to just fish for whatever will bite. We're just going to see what we can catch. What we'd like to catch is some grouper. But the water temperature right now is 87 degrees. You can see that. That's surface temperature. Probably a little bit cooler in 32 feet of water. A good bit cooler. But it's still a little bit warm for the grouper to be up in here just yet. I've caught a few, but they've all been small. Typically I want the water temperatures to be below 70, 78 degrees or so to catch grouper consistently. So all through the fall and winter, until the season closes December 31st, we can catch the gag grouper, and occasionally we'll catch some red grouper. A couple videos ago I caught an 18-inch red grouper, which is the nicest red grouper that I've caught here in Panama City in any of the bays. So I'm going to get rigged up, get set up, and we'll go catch some fish. So Amazon finally got the Cadence 5000 series reels back in stock. So what I have here is my new Cadence 5000 stout. It's a saltwater series reel. I put it on my Prevail 2 pin rod. Just put 30-pound line on it. Hadn't even had a chance to adjust the drag yet. We'll work on that as soon as I drop it in. I've just got little pieces of cut cigar minnow. Let's see if there's anything here. It's 31, 32 feet deep. A lot of boat traffic, so it's hard to tell for sure. What I've got here right behind me is a sand point that comes way out toward the channel, shipping channel. And I'm just on to the east of it, on the side of it. I'm not sitting exactly where I want to be, but I'll move in just a minute. Adjust the boat. The boat kind of swung around. I thought it was actually going to sit east and west, and it's not. It's sitting more, the nose of the boat is pointed southeast. So I'm not quite sitting on it. And as I've explained before, most of the places that I fish inside of East Bay, St. Andrews Bay, and West Bay are small pieces of structure. It's not big, high relief structure. It's a couple of rocks, or maybe an old oyster bed, or it could be parts of an old wreck. Most of the wrecks that were in the bay have gotten hit by the shrimpers, and the shrimpers aren't supposed to shrimp in the bay anymore. But they're just small pieces of structure. It doesn't stick up a whole lot off the bottom. It's not high relief. But it's enough that it's different from what's around it, and the fish will congregate on it or use it at some point. And I'm not getting bit. I'm not where I need to be. I'm going to move over a little bit. they are yet. Hopefully we'll find it. Oh, getting a bite. Most likely the red snapper got my bait. But it could be black sea bass, or it could be mangroves. I can tell you it's hot. It's low 90s. There we go. Feels like a little snapper. Yeah. Little red snapper. Not a very big one. Get some more. She won't steal my bait. If I catch something that she wants to eat, she'll just eat it. Or her baby will. Oh, catfish. Little hardhead catfish. She had him. Come up now. Usually when the porpoises are here, the game fish won't bite. They know they're going to get eaten. A little red snapper. But the way I found these places, just like this one right here, is I idle, just basically put the boat in idle and watch the bottom machine and mark it on my GPS. If I see something that looks like it should hold fish, or that there are fish there, I'll just hit mark. And then I come back and fish them again later. And I've got about 600 places right now marked. Oh, there's a better fish. Still not a keeper on another catfish. And I've eaten the hardheads hardhead catfish and the sail cats, just to try them. I like catfish freshwater, but I'm not real wild about the saltwater version. The sail cats are okay, but the hardheads, they just kind of taste dirty. So I don't keep any of them anymore, but you can eat them. They won't hurt you, but I don't like them. So I'll eat them inside the bay here. And if you've watched any of my videos where I'm catching red snapper, you can catch keepers here. My wife caught a 30-inch red snapper right across the bay from here. I caught a 32-inch basically right out in front of us. You can catch keepers. And big snapper. I don't like to keep those really big snapper. Got to adjust my camera a little bit. I don't like to keep those big snapper because those are the breeders. The wind's picked up a little bit, and now the boat's turned sideways. One of the things that I read on the Florida Fish and Wildlife, I think it was on their website, a 30-inch red snapper female compared to an 18-inch female red snapper, and it would take 400,000 18-inch red snapper to produce the same number of eggs as that 30-inch female red snapper in 1 year. That's a lot of babies, potentially. So I try not to keep very many of those bigger ones. For me, the perfect size to eat is that 20 to 24 inch. Because my wife and I can split one fillet off of a fish that size and have fish left over. That's a lot of meat. And we like red snapper. We had scallops for dinner last night, the scallops that we caught yesterday. If you look at Facebook, you'll see the 2 dozen or so scallops that we caught yesterday. It's tough. Couldn't see. Water was dingy. A lot of cloud cover. A lot of traffic. Tried to video, but you couldn't see anything. I mean, the water was literally, you had about 1.5 feet of visibility. There. That hit like another catfish. Yep. I will tell you, you do not want to get scratched or cut or poked by one of the spines on those saltwater catfish. They are bad. Some people will tell you that the red snapper tend to be in schools of like-sized fish. I don't know. Maybe they are. I don't care. I like to catch them no matter what. I can bring people out here who aren't skilled fishermen that all they want to do is get their string stretched. So they don't care if it's a 6-inch red snapper or a 16-inch red snapper or a 30-inch red snapper. or a mangrove or a lane or a catfish. They don't care. They just want to get their string stretched, catch some fish, have some fun. That's all I do. Now when snapper in season, I'm looking for the 18 to 24 inch red snapper that are good eating size. We can catch 2 each, go home and clean them, and they got something to eat. Another kitty cat. In case I didn't say it before, I don't like catching kitty cats. Looks like a little red snapper. Not a keeper, but a little bit better. And I will tell you that in my experience, the red snapper do tend to school in like-sized fish. Your truly giant red snapper are loners. Those 30-plus inch, especially females, they're loners. They're by themselves. So there may be a 30-plus inch red snapper in this area, but he ain't gonna be sitting right here where I'm fishing until all these little fish go away. He might be, 10 feet off the structure. Or 20 feet off the structure. That 32 inch that I caught it last year. I was sitting on a spot and probably caught 25 or 30. All of them in that 16 to 18 inch range. And was about to leave. I had one more pinfish, little pinfish. So I thought, well, I'll try it. So I dropped it down, and within a minute, it hit it. But I'd caught all the other ones. None of the rest of them, the smaller ones, were biting anymore. Oh, you got my bait. And she'd probably been sitting there watching those other fish eat for an hour, just swimming around. When they quit biting, she came in and ate. She went home with me and I ate it. That's something small. A croaker. Perfect. That is bait now. So this is a croaker. I don't know if you can hear it or not. Makes a croaking sound. That's great bait for big snapper, grouper, a variety of different bait, fish. So it's going in the live well and it'll be bait. it, we're going to go somewhere else. Alright, we had about an hour, a little over an hour rain delay. I kept fishing, but I'm just wet. Couldn't get the camera wet, didn't have the waterproof cover for it. In the meantime, I did catch a little crab, and I put it on one of my 30-pound rods, dropped it down to the bottom. Grouper and snapper and stuff like that will eat crabs as well as redfish, and redfish really like them, so I'm hoping to catch a big redfish. I've just got it sitting over here in one of the rod holders, and got the drag loosened up a little bit. I've just caught a lane snapper on a piece of the cut bait, and I need to cut some more out. What I did is I moved over to the pipeline that goes underneath the bay from Parker over to Tyndall. And I went back and forth on it until I found a spot that looked like it had some fish on it, and that's what we're fishing. What we got is an outgoing tide, an incoming wind. So it kind of turns the boat a little bit sideways. I'm still fishing with cut cigar metal. Anytime I'm going to fish over here on the pipeline, even though I've got a lot of numbers on it, the numbers are more about where it's at than the spots that I want to fish. What I'm looking for is places where I'm showing that there's fish that are there. You can see them, they're above the bottom. There we go. A little red snapper. Cannot get away from red snapper here in Panama City. And I won't complain. I like to catch them. I like to eat them on cake. And a little red snapper. And we're right at 30 feet of water. And they're stacked in here like cordwood. although these aren't keepers, they're still fun to catch. And we hadn't seen a keeper today. And even though I wasn't on the bottom, something came up and ate the bait off. About 15 feet down in 30 feet of water. A lot of times you can chum and get those snapper to come up, and I've caught them on top water right behind the boat. Cut bait with no weight on it. Then I'm going to bring my fly rod out here and see if I can catch them on my fly rod. Hadn't done it yet. Bait. Kendall's playing Reveille, Star Spangled Banner. Because of how much current we've got right here, bait's ended up behind the boat just a little bit. As soon as it hits the bottom, it's getting bit. There's a better fish. So the keepers are here. He's not huge, but he's a keeper. That's on 20-pound Power Pro braid with 30-pound Trilene big game leader. Piece of cut cigar minnow. And a 5/0 hook. catch babies. Oh, there we go. That's a better fish. That feels like a shark. Actually, it's not a shark. It's a bigger red snapper. That's the kind we like to catch. It looks like he swallowed it. I don't have my drag reel loose, but he was able to pull it pretty hard and pull drag, and he took off running. I'd follow him up to the front of the boat. I'm going to measure him real quick. And take a picture of him. He's 21 and a half. Can be caught here. If the season was open, I'd have my limit already. Everything else I catch is just gravy, just fun. It is fun, even though these are small. And like I said, you're just as likely to catch a 30-incher as you are an 8-incher like that. It might be more likely if I had bigger bait. It helps to close the bail. Real good. Cut some bigger bait this time. I really want to catch some on that rod. 21 inch. I'm gonna take a picture of him too. I post those on Facebook, Epic Nearshore PC, if you want to go there and check them out. I've always liked this rod. I think I like this reel too. There's a bigger fish. It'll be another big snapper. Yep. Another good keeper snapper. Well, I'm not doing anything special. I'm not, fishing in spots that are, that sun's probably right in your eyes, in spots that are only known by me. This is all public stuff. And this is a pipeline. All you got to do is find a spot that looks like it has some fish on it, or shows fish on it, and fish for them. Come get in the boat with me and we'll go. For bait, I'm just using cigar minnows, cutting the heads and tails off, and then I cut the bodies in half. And that's how big a piece I use. Three-quarter ounce weight. Now I'm using a 7/0 hook because I'm using the bigger bait. I think you just got my bait. A lot of times, if you can get once you get the snapper interested and active, as quick as you can drop your bait down, you're going to get bit. That's why I like to have 3 or 4 people on the boat fishing, because there's always bait in the water that way. You can even catch them small ones. Ooh, you can even catch the small ones on a 7/0 hook. And the grouper will use this pipeline the same way that the snapper do. The snapper don't just sit in one spot. They travel back and forth. Right along the pipeline. And the grouper do the same thing. I hate horse flies. When we get yellow flies here, I hate them worse. Last 2 baits and then I'm going home. Gotta pressure wash the boat, get it put away. God, dumb horsefly. I'm more worried about the stupid horsefly biting me than I am the fish. As bad as I smell, I'm surprised he's bothering me. Yep. Got my bait. I hate to leave fish that are biting, but I need to go home. If you enjoyed the video, leave a comment. Visit my Facebook, Epic Nearshore PC. Again, I hope you learned something. I'll show you my depth finder in case you think I'm sitting on something that's really outrageous. That's what I'm sitting on right there. It doesn't look like much of anything, does it? But it holds fish. Because the pipeline is right here, and I'm actually fishing the top of that pipeline, and that's where the fish are. So I'm just beyond the top of the pipeline, and I'm dropping my bait, and it's going back 10 feet and getting to the pipeline. So it's not hard to find them, but you do need to learn how to look for the structure. And it's not big high relief stuff. It's all, you know, real close to the bottom. You know, in 30 feet of water, where I'm in 28 feet of water right now, but it may only show like less than 1/4 of an inch, and it could be a couple of feet. You know, you got to learn how to read your depth finder, your bottom machine, whatever you want to call it, and to figure out where the structure is. Now, I've got the color palette on mine adjusted because I'm colorblind, so that anything that's not thick structure, or you know, the bottom shows up as yellow, and then everything else is either red or brown. I can't tell what it is. Of course, the water's blue. So fish show up as kind of a yellow line because they're not as thick as the bottom. You know, learn how to adjust your machine and learn how to read what's on it. You know, I know a lot of people use side finders and all that kind of stuff. I don't have one. Could I use one? Maybe, but it's not. You know, it's not vital for the way that I fish. We don't have a lot of ledges up here that, you know, I need to be able to see down to or up into on the ledges. Most of what we fish here is just isolated rock and like the pipeline. You know, everybody knows where the pipeline is. If you ask any of the bait shops here, they can tell you where the pipeline is. It's just to the west of the power lines that run from Tyndall to Parker. Easy to find. It shows us a little hump on the bottom. That's the pipeline. It's got rock embedded in concrete over the top of it. It's a mat, and that's what holds it down. The grouper like it because they can get up underneath the edge of it, and it's like a little ledge. I don't fish over here just a whole lot, but when I do, I can find fish. You know, it's just another piece of structure here in the bay that I like to fish. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, leave me a comment, leave a like, subscribe if you want, and we'll see you next time.